Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Expect to Win Experience talk show live from Los Angeles. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Expect to Win Experience talk show where we speak to student athletes and pros that come through to encourage. And I am Coach Thomas. I'm flying solo tonight. My co-host Kandi Knight is on an assignment, and you guys have me tonight. Well, you have me, and you have an interesting guest that's going to be coming through, and then we also have our college recruitment specialist, Coach Kelly, that's with us tonight. So we're going to have a great show. Kick back, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Expect to Win experience. And we're going to be back with our student athlete of the night after this commercial break.
One more.
All right, we're having technical difficulties tonight, but we're going to go ahead, keep the train moving. I want to encourage you to pick up some Expect to Win merchandise and gear, and you can do that at expecttowinaa.com. That is our online site, and you can get your Expect to Win gear and support what we do here every week, every Saturday. We bring to you the finest student athletes. We get a chance to tell their story and just have a nice conversation with them. But we want you and we need your support. So while you are watching, take a moment and go to www.expecttowinaa.com and pick up a hoodie or a T-shirt or one of the Expect to Win caps. Like I said, I'm Coach Thomas, and I'm flying solo tonight. Usually have my lovely co-host Kandi Knight with me, my guest co-host Bo Thomas, who couldn't be here tonight, but we're gonna introduce you to an awesome student athlete. But I want to talk to. I want to try to. I want to give away a hoodie tonight. So for everyone that's watching, I know you may. I just made it an appeal for you to buy some of our merch, but I'm gonna give away a hoodie tonight. So if you can just go into the comment section and just say hello and let me know where you are watching tonight, what city, what state, where you're watching tonight, and the person that is the furthest away, I'm going to give you a hoodie. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're broadcasting on YouTube. We're broadcasting on the Expect to Win TV network. We are broadcasting on the Expect to Win Experience Facebook page, and we're also broadcasting on my personal Facebook page. So I am going to log on to Facebook and just say hello and where you're watching tonight, and the person that is watching that is the furthest away. Last week we had some viewers in Canada. So if you are wherever you may be, let me know. And if you are the furthest away, you're going to receive a free hoodie. So we already have someone from Carson, California. So log on, say hello, let me know where you're watching, and you just may win a hoodie. I will announce the winner at the end of the broadcast tonight. But tonight, we're going to have, you know what, I'm going to kind of change things up a minute. We have, before I bring on our guest tonight, we have a new segment here where we have a college recruitment specialist, and that's Coach Kelly. And Coach Kelly comes on, he has a segment where he's talking to the student athletes, or he's giving advice for the student athletes to, in regards to college recruitment and what college coaches are looking for. So I encourage you, if you know a student athlete, or you are a student athlete, to pay attention. We're going to bring Coach Kelly on and see what he has for you tonight. But it's so important that student athletes understand that it's not just about your talent. And so anyway, I'm going to bring Coach Kelly on and let him share with you tonight before we introduce our student athlete. It's kind of switching it around, but how you doing, Coach?
Oh,
I know
I
I
knocked my
caught you
thing
off
over. Hold
guard.
on just a second. Hold on just a second.
That's what happens on live TV.
Yeah, it sure does. You got me last time too.
How you doing, Coach?
Man, I'm doing all right.
Well, that I'm known for that. I'm known for that. You never know when I'm going to toss you the ball.
Yes, sir. You gotta be ready. You gotta be ready.
You gotta be ready. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Ready to give some good information so we get these guys some scholarships.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and remove myself. And ladies and gentlemen, our college recruitment specialist, Coach James Kelly.
Hello, this is Coach Kelly from NSA Prospects. Our website will be up May 1st at nsaprospects.net. We did some upgrades to the website. There's going to be a lot of good things going on. Tonight, I want to talk to you about communication with coaches. The biggest thing about that is I get a lot of students that say, "Well, I don't know what to say to the coach whenever we're going back and forth. Whenever a coach is taking interest in you and things of that nature." So that's what I want to approach tonight. It's really a key part of the whole process. Uh, there's been scholarships, gained or lost in communication with the coach. So the biggest thing that you have to understand is that when you're in contact with these coaches, that you are the product. So your image is a big deal. Your grades are a big deal, and you're basically trading your skills as an athlete for a free education, or not always free, but you're basically trading. It's a trade. So the coach says this kid has a skill or a talent that can help me win, and in exchange for that, I'm going to give them a paid education. So if you understand that, that should give you some confidence right there. So what I like to compare it to is fishing. So when you go fishing, I don't know how many people go fishing, but there's a certain art to fishing. So you have to have the bait correctly. Right off the bat, you have to have good bait. Now your bait is um, your video, your video highlights, your grades, and things of that nature. Those are the initial things that are going to get the coach to come around in the beginning. Um, so once they take interest, and people don't understand that too, there's a big difference between interest and offers. If a coach is interested, they make contact with you. That is not the same as an offer. An offer is whenever he starts talking money, whenever he says, "This is how much we can give you," and he starts pulling out scholarship offers, that is an offer. So don't be confused by that. Some kids are posting interest, and there's a difference between interest and offers. But in the beginning of that, you have to make sure that your approach has to be there, because whether you realize it or not, basketball and football, any athletics that you are involved in, one of the main reasons you are in those things is because of the fellowship that you have with your teammates and the coaches and everything else. And that's the reason why when people are done playing, they either become a coach, or they become a referee, or an umpire, or a trainer, and they find some way to get back in so that they can have those relationships. So if you understand that this whole thing is about relationships anyway, you have to know how to speak to people. You have to know how to approach people. So if you don't know what to say, then write down some of the things that you want to ask the coach. And even if you don't know, here's what I can help you with, so that you in your approach can not just have it be a one-sided conversation where the coach says everything and you're just responding. You have to have your own communication, and we even if your parents have questions, ask questions. So a couple of things that you want to ask: what type of offense do you run? What type of defense do you run? What type of system do you know that are these coaches playing? There's all type of strategies involved in these, and you have to know what is that, because you know yourself as a talent, what type of system that you excel in. Some people excel in up tempo type styles. Some people excel in slow down type styles, regardless of what sport you're in. And then from that point, you go into other questions like, what's your major? Like, what do your facilities look like? Coaches should have all of that information ready to go. And they usually do, but most kids don't ask about that. So then you want to make sure you say, hey, what do your facilities look like? What are your, how are you going to use me? If I come to your school, how are you going to use me? Am I going to be an immediate impact player, or am I going to have to be a player that develops? So you also have to be real with yourself also, and understand, even if you may be a college talent, that does not mean everybody deserves a full scholarship. That does not mean that you deserve a starting spot once you get there. There, especially if you go to a four-year school, there are people that have been there 2, 3, and 4 years, and they're earned their way up. And you're going to have to go in and fit in that program and develop, or if you go to a 2-year school, you're only, competing against other players that have been there 2 years. So you have to understand and be real with yourself. Ask the coach, do you think I'm a player that has to develop, or do you think that I'm going to be an immediate impact player? And be upfront with them. That's the whole thing. It's because it's a big exchange. You're investing the next 2 to 4 years of your life into that program. So those are some of the other questions that you can ask. The other thing that you can ask is, as you're going along, if you're interested in a school, check in with the coach every few days. Don't make them always chase you. And yes, I know it's a lot of romanticized about, everybody, all these coaches are going to chase you and this and that. That's not a relationship. It's a one-sided thing where you're being courted and all that stuff. Yes, it starts that way, but you have to make sure that you are going in a manner where it's a back and forth thing. Because if you don't show interest, coaches say, well, they must not be interested, and they'll start to look for other players. So check in every few days. Let that coach know you're interested. On the other end of that, if you're not interested, coaches get rejected all the time. So let them know, hey, coach, I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to check these other schools out, and be cordial about it. But what you do in that situation, you gain a lot of respect from coaches, and it frees them up to go find these other players. So, like I said, make sure you check in every few days. And then we get to the next part, which is after you get the video highlight, that's the bait. The interest is when a fish is coming to nibble. And once you get that fish to bite, the bite is a scholarship offer. Now, scholarship offers still don't end up in signings. So just like, if a fish bites, you have to pull it correctly, or else you jerk the hook out of his mouth. Or if you get a fish that's good, sometimes they wiggle enough and get off the line. You have to get that fish all the way into the boat before it's yours. So once the scholarship offer is had, you still have to make sure that you're going through the proper channels, and there's things that you have to do. Most people don't know. There's clearinghouses that you have to go through to check for your grades and your amateur status. There's a ton of things that you're going to have to do after the scholarship offer is made. Your transcripts still come into play, your ACT scores, your SAT scores, and things like that, because some people will be like your kid, but they don't qualify for the school. So once the scholarship offer is had and the offer is on the table, you still have to keep doing things. It's a process. So the other part of that is make sure that as you're communicating, don't think, and this happens quite a bit. Kids just want to collect offers. I had this many offers and I had that many offers. Well, I know a lot of kids that they waited so long that those offers got pulled and gave to somebody else because they didn't give the right interest, or they seen coaches. You're putting your information out there on the internet. Coaches see what you're doing and how many offers you got, and they're saying this guy's just collecting offers. And sometimes they'll pull that offer and go to someone else. So make sure that you're doing the right things in order to say, hey, unless you're a really, really, really high level player, especially with the landscape that is with the virus and things of that nature, you have to make sure that you're doing and building these relationships with these coaches, and you're eliminating them as you're going along, because in that same manner, coaches have to protect themselves and their jobs just as much as you're trying to get somewhere and extend your athletic career. So as soon as they're interested in you, don't think that you're the only person who's on that offer. There may be multiple players that they've offered that same scholarship to, and sometimes it's first come, first serve. Or out of these 5 players that we're looking for in this offer, they're going to continue to research. Sometimes it's social media stuff, or you may have been in trouble in the past or something like that. They're at that point, they're also looking, out of these 5 players that I've offered this scholarship to, now which one of these is going to eliminate themselves by their behavior or their grades, and they're looking for a reason not to recruit you at that point, because you have to fit their program, not vice versa. So after you get that and you get to that point and you do land the offer, you get the fish in the boat, you sign, you're good to go at that point. But the whole thing is the communication back and forth is really huge. It's a relationship process. And you got to make sure that you're able to communicate back and forth. And like I said, the biggest thing is have some questions ready for the coaches so that you can build a relationship and know that where you're going, you're positive. You're positive that fit is a good fit for you. I can't hear you, sir.
Okay. All right, Coach. Awesome advice. Why don't you tell our viewers how to contact you if you are interested in having Coach Kelly work with you in your recruitment efforts? Tell everyone how to contact you, Coach Kelly.
Okay, I can be reached on in any social media. We have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. On Twitter, I have two accounts. We have FB_NSA for football, and we have at NSA Prospects on our Twitter. If you type in at NSA Prospects on the majority of the social medias, our information will come up. My cell phone is 405-933-6100. And our website, which again we're right now we're doing the debugging process and the upgrades, will be up May 1st, and that is nsaprospects.net, and that involves not just the players but the coaches also will be open to all those.
Coach Kelly, why don't you repeat your telephone number one more time? It kind of froze for a moment.
Okay, that's 405-933-6100.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the ETW College Recruitment Specialist, Coach Kelly. Thank you, Coach Kelly. And Coach Kelly has a segment here every week. So you can reach out to him. You can see him here with all of that awesome advice. And thank you, Coach Kelly. Before we go and bring up our student athlete of the night, my co-host, who I miss terribly, is backstage at her event.
Hey, I miss you too. Thanks for inviting me to come back in for a second. So I am hosting. Yes, I'm hosting a live music event here in Huntsville, Alabama. If you're in the area, it's called R&B Vibes Live. You can see the shirt. And I'm backstage right now. One of our artists is performing. It's an act where we have live local R&B music with a band, the DJ, a painter live on stage. And so I host live for them once a month. So it's the show that we have going on tonight. It's going well so far, but I can't wait to get back to hang out with you next weekend. So I'll be back next weekend.
All right, Kandi, I miss you. And if you're in the Huntsville area, you have my permission you can watch the show on your phone and go support Kandi.
Absolutely.
All right.
Come on out. Thanks for having me. Have a good show.
All righty. See you next week.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. That's my co-host, Kandi Knight in Huntsville, Alabama, hosting an event. So tonight, we're going to bring on our student athlete, and he is one of the awesome players over at national champion St. John Bosco High School here in Los Angeles, California, and actually Bellflower, California, which is one of the suburbs of Los Angeles. And he is Harrison Cofell. And ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome him to the Expect to Win experience. And it's kind of dark, Harrison. Can you hear us?
I'm gonna go turn my light on real quick. My bad.
Okay. All right. See, this is what happens on live TV, y'all. There you go. We have to do things like that, and we love it. How you doing, Harrison?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Did you hear Coach Kelly's segment?
Wait, what'd you say?
Did
you cut out?
Coach Kelly's segment? Did you hear Coach Kelly's segment?
Oh yeah, I did.
What did you think about what he had to say about recruiting? Did he talk about anything you weren't aware of, or how did you feel about what you heard about recruiting?
Not what he said was pretty wise because that's what Coach Terry and Coach like all the coaches at Bosco, they tell us to, like, if you're talking to a coach, to like keep in contact with that coach from the college coaches, of course. So yeah, what he was saying was pretty spot on. Like,
Really, really.
yeah,
So why don't you? That's cool. Tell us what you're at St. John Bosco, and your position is
I play inside linebacker.
inside linebacker. So what is it like? I mean, everybody wants to go to St. John Bosco. you know, everybody wants to play football for St. John Bosco. You know, how is it? What do you like about playing football for St. John Bosco?
Um, well, a lot of people want to play there, but it's obviously, since it's such like a high level school, it's not just a given to be like a starter. Like, you actually have to work your way up there. Like, because all like my fellow seniors, like that I was with this year, we were most of us were always like the last ones in the weight room. So that was a part that I love, because like I can see other people like want to get to the same spot I want to get to in life, like to be a college athlete someday and hopefully be a pro too.
That's awesome. What is so basically what Coach Kelly was saying is you guys are being prepped for that over at Bosco. How does it feel when you guys play for the national championship? It seems like you guys are always in the news. How did you prepare for that? What did the coaches do to get you guys ready to play at such a high level? Because I think it was the game in 2019, and the media was like at an NFL game. I was unbelievable. I never saw anything like that at a high school football game. What do the coaches do to prepare you guys, to play at that level?
Well, I actually wasn't even at Bosco in 2019, I think, when they won the national championship. I transferred in like right after they won. So, but like,
Okay.
say for the modern day game we just played last week, um, we even had a lot of media even at our practices, and it was a different atmosphere from what I've felt before, because I've never really seen that before, and it's like a whole different mindset, because the 2 weeks we played coming up to modern day, they're pretty easy teams. I won't lie. It was Olu and Jay Sarah, and they were pretty easy. So it was like more relaxed. But then when we got to modern day week, it was like everyone just kicked into like their high gear, and nobody was like messing around really. Like everybody was on their A game. Like every single day, like when they're in their weight room, film, and on the field too.
Now that's interesting, Harrison, because I think most people think that at a school like a St. John Bosco, there's a real high level of discipline, which I imagine there is. But is everybody always on their A game, or do the coaches or the seniors, especially, do you guys have to kind of get the younger guys focused? What is that like?
Well, every week, like we're always like trying, like Coach Negro, he always said, like our goal is to always be better than our last week of what we were, and he always also said, football is fun, not funny. So like if we saw like people talking in the background, coaches or seniors, like we'd always like get them in straight, like get them like to like quiet down and pay attention to what's going on. But most of the time, it's like we're all focused in. Not much is like like there's not much extra chatter going on between people. It's just mostly just focused in and like, because like he said, football is fun when you're winning. Obviously, it's not funny because like it's just like we basically keep everybody in check, like seniors and coaches.
How long have you been playing football, Harrison?
Oh, I'm trying to look at the pictures in my room to see. I've been playing. I first started playing flag football when I was, I want to say probably 6. I think 6 or 7, something like that. And then tackle football when I started tackling 6th grade.
So, and how old are you now?
I just turned 19 not too long ago.
Wow. So let's say you are at 19, you are a 13-year veteran. At 19. Yeah. Basically. 13-year veteran. Oh my God. That is unbelievable. What do you play any other sports?
Not anymore. I used to play last year. I played rugby a little bit and I ran track, but since COVID I've just been focusing on football.
Right. Okay. And that was going to be my next question. How did COVID affect your season? Because it really doesn't seem like Bosco stopped practicing or anything. They've been rolling all along.
Well, so we actually did stop practicing, but like, because we for a very long time, like when COVID was like very popular and active in California, like at its most dangerous point, we were not allowed to even show up to Bosco at all. But we would have like, and then a few months after, I'd say probably, I forgot the month we like started, but we started training again, not like throwing the ball or anything, but like we were doing sprint work and stuff in little groups of like the team. Like it would be like, I think 6 people per group that would come in at different times and at different places, and then we'd come in and do sprint work to like keep in shape.
Okay. What is sprint work?
Oh, like sprint and conditioning, kind of like just to like keep it like your speed up so you don't slow down.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. And rugby. God, I didn't know. I've never met anybody that played rugby before. But you said you gave it up because of COVID.
That and just transferring from Servite, because Servite, that's where I played rugby at, and like they actually had a rugby team, so I played it for that. But yeah, COVID, it was just weird because I didn't even know what was gonna happen. So like if anything did happen, I wanted it just to be football.
So what are your plans? Your college plans? We heard Coach Kelly talk about offers. What are your plans for football in the future?
Right now I'm still unsure where I'm gonna go because I'm still trying to talk to some coaches. But yeah, for the most part, nah, it's just uncertain right now. Don't really want to get too much into it.
Right. It's is it weird playing under that type of, or is it any pressure playing under that type of media attention? You mentioned like the media was at you guys' practice. Did that put any pressure on you at all, or your teammates?
Kind of. Well, being in the Trinity League, I was kind of used to it, to be honest. But
okay.
Yeah. I would say on Monday is when it kind of hits me hard because it was pretty packed, the game, but yeah, I get nervous at the very beginning, but then as the week goes on, I slowly get used to it, and my body like calms down, my mind. I just get game ready, and by the time we're on the field for the game, I'm not really that nervous.
Okay. Your family life, Harrison. Who in your family? Is anybody in your family? Are there any other athletes in your family? Is there anybody that inspires you?
Yeah, my dad. Well, we don't really have. My sister used to play water polo, but not anymore. But my dad inspires me. That's like he's like basically my hero right now.
Wow. Did your dad play any sports?
Yeah, he used to be kind of like the opposite of what I am. He used to be a running back, so it's kind of funny. Yeah. But yeah.
So do you guys ever talk about, like, you ever say like, well, Dad, if you was a running back today, I would have to stop you, and I would stop you.
Yeah, we actually do sometimes. He always talks about how back in his day he was bigger than what I was today, but I don't believe it at all, because right now I'm the same height. I'm taller than him right now, so yeah.
Well, my grandson plays for Paramount, Bo Thomas, and so their dad played football also. And they asked me one day, they like, Papa, my daddy really good in football? And I said, well, yeah, he was pretty good. And they said, well, where's the film? We're not going to believe it unless we see some film. Your dad ever play film for you?
Nah, I think he was too old for that. I don't think he had film.
He didn't have any film. Okay. All right. Well, shout out to your dad then. Yeah. You have to give him his props. That's so cool. That is so cool. What is the most fun thing about football, and what's the worst thing about it?
I'll say the worst thing first, 'cause that's easily losing. I hate losing. When we lost to Mater Dei, I was so defeated. I didn't go on my phone for a few days. I was silent on everything. But the best part is probably the people you meet along the way, because networking, because the connections you make through high school, and even when I was like younger, I still play with the people I was with when I was younger. But yeah, probably the best part is meeting new people and creating new connections.
That is so cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we're with Harrison Cofell, the pride of St. John Bosco High School, and we're having a conversation about his football career. He is a 13-year veteran at the age of 19. That is crazy. So if you were to go to college and play for 4 years, and by the time you're blessed to go to the NFL, you like, well, hey, I got 20 years under my belt. That is so crazy. But that's the time that we live in. What, Harrison, have you ever had a moment where you just did something and it just kind of blew you away on the field? You just had that moment that it was like, wow, I can't believe, I actually did that. Have you ever had that moment?
Yeah, I have. This year, actually. So we played, so I just transferred it from Servite, and when we played them this year, the opening drive, we started on defense, and then on the opening drive, I made just on the opening drive alone, I made two tackles, a sack, and then I got a PBU, all in the first drive, and then it was a 3-and-out. So that felt really amazing. Oh wait, no, it wasn't a 3-and-out. It was I think they got a first down, and then we and yeah, they got a first down, and then we got them to punt the ball. But yeah, that felt amazing. I was mind blown that I got the sack. So that felt amazing.
Okay, for those that don't know football jargon, what's a PDU and a 3 and out?
A PBU is when you when the quarterback throws the ball, and you on the defense, you block the ball down or get in the way of the pass at all. So like the quarterback, he threw the ball on a slant, which is just an inward route, and I jumped up and blocked the ball from getting to the receiver's hands.
Wow. Okay. How tall are you, Harrison?
I'm 6 foot.
Oh, okay. And so your dad said he was bigger than 6 foot as a running back.
Yeah, I think he was like 5'11", but
okay. So you said you don't have haven't made a decision about college or anything, because one of the things Kandi and I do, because Kandi is a hardcore Alabama fan and I am a hardcore USC Trojan. Fight on. And we always toss the question to the athlete: if you had a choice, if you had an offer from Alabama or an offer from USC, which would you take?
I'd probably go Alabama, to be honest, because the defense we run at Bosco is similar to theirs.
It's not the right answer, Harrison. I can respect that. I can respect that. That Alabama is a good school. I just can't say that when Kandi is here. So, but it is such an honor to have you here. We're going to take a commercial break real quick, Harrison. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in 30 seconds with the pride of St. John Bosco in Bellflower, California, Mr. Harrison Cofell. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Be you. Expect to win. We're back with Harrison Cofell. Harrison, what does expect to win mean to you?
Well, at Bosco, it kind of in the name, we expect to win every game that we face, or like every opponent that we play, because like we just have the mindset of being first and being the best that we can. So to me, expecting to win is just being your best, I guess.
All right. Well, you do have a expect to win hoodie coming your way for being a guest. So make sure you sport it around the Bosco campus. And but we definitely, I'm honored to have you on the show. I think you're the first guest that we've had from Bosco. So, honored to have you on the show. We're going to wrap this interview up. Why don't you tell everybody how they can reach you, and if there's any coaches watching and anybody that wants to reach out to you, give out your social media contact information.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram at Harry Cofell. It's HARRY Cofell. And on Twitter, you can follow me too. It's just my name, just right there on the screen, Harrison Cofell, no spaces. And I think that's about it for my socials.
All right, all right. What would you say, Harrison, before we let you go? What would you say? Coach Kelly gave some awesome advice for those that are looking to be recruited. But what would you say to that little kid that's looking at you and saying, "I want to play football. I want to be like him"? What would you say to that kid that's watching and is admiring you?
I'll probably say to be the best, you gotta work like you are the best. So you have to put in the work to become the best.
No substitute for hard work, huh?
Yep.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest tonight has been Mr. Harrison Cofell from St. John Bosco High School. And Harrison, thank you for being on the show. And as I say to every guest, when you move into the arena of making the big bucks, don't forget about us over here at the Expect to Win experience. Come back and see us and, stay in touch. Like I said, we're going to send you an Expect to Win hoodie and tell your dad that, we want to, now there is film available. So, let's see some film of you and him together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Harrison Cofell. Thank you, Harrison.
Thank you for having.
All right, everybody. Another show under our belt. I'm gonna before I sign off, Coach Kelly, I want to bring you back for just 1 minute, if you don't mind, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
There he is. What did you think about our guest tonight?
Man, we talked about it last week, and when I talked with Bo, we said certain programs, when kids get there and they're the athletic meals, and they teach their kids what to do, how to be, how to put in work. You clearly see that about the kid. He's confident in everything he's doing. He knows what to say, everything he expects, certain things. He knows that whatever he's putting work in, he's going to get the results out of it. And that's part of it. Not everybody is blessed to be able to have that type of program to be in. But that really speaks volumes about the football program that they have. He already knows what to expect, how to keep the coaches on the line. He knows that you got to invest in yourself because you are the product, and he stated that. And just like your logo says, be you. Ultimately, when you put in the work, whatever you're bringing to a program, they want you to be you. And I really like that logo that you guys have. And he, like I said, they tell those kids what to do, what to expect, and how to be a college prospect. And that's evidence of that, 100%.
Coach, let me ask you this, and I mean, we're going to sign off in a minute, but I've always been curious about this. Just like you said, you can tell a kid that comes from a good program. If you are a coach and you know this program has been super successful, why not just emulate it? Why would why would a coach stay with a losing program or a losing formula when somebody else has already laid out the blueprint? And I know you talk to a lot of coaches and even in basketball, if you see, it's just like, okay, like the Lakers, okay, I'm a Laker fan and Lakers have, everybody say they are a class organization. Why not just emulate what they do and have the same type of program?
I really would have to say number one on the list would be ego. Everybody thinks that what they know is above what everybody else is. The other part of that is there are people who do come from successful programs like coaching trees, I know in this area there are successful coaches, and then there are coaches who coach under them, and then those coaches get their own programs. Instead of learning uh, and making themselves into their own coach, they just try to repeat the other one, and sometimes it's uh, outside of your I don't say attitude, but outside of your personality. That's the word.
Okay.
And they try to be like somebody else, and it's not them. Third reason is sometimes people get caught up in systems because this system has been successful. You might not have that type of athlete. You might be teaching a super up tempo system, and the athletes that you have, especially at public schools or things of that nature, you may need to teach them more fundamentals. You may need to be more disciplined. You got to find
Okay.
that medium where if you're really a coach and you coach your sport and you know your sport, you should be able to adjust to that. Some people don't do that, and they try to make the kid fit the system instead of making your system fit the kids. I had to go through that
Yeah.
myself. I had to make some adjustments even as early as last year. I had to throw my own system that I created over almost a 12 to 13 year period. Had to trash it and grow a completely new system for the second semester because of the kids that I had did not fit it. I had to adjust. We adjusted. We
Wow.
did a lot better for the second semester. And so that comes in to that ego part where it says, am I going to stick to what I know, or am I going to put my ego aside and do what I know is right in order to adjust? And you unless you're a college coach and you do get those high level athletes every single year, then you can recruit those players directly, which especially high schools don't always have that.
Right.
You got to be able to adjust, and if it's not working, find what works. I mean, even to the point to where Kentucky and in North Carolina, they get those picks, and for whatever reason, it didn't work this year. Now we're going to see what happens to those coaches next year. Are they going to adjust? Are they going to recruit different players? And kids aren't the same today as they used to be. Some people are coaching old school style, and kids aren't that way anymore, and they're losing kids. The AAU is doing a lot of different things. It's different. Landscape's different.
I like what you said. You have to change the system to fit the kid instead of trying to make the kid fit into the system.
Yep.
Wow. That's good. That's good. 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 Well, good job, coach. And man, this is 2 weeks and you dropped some jewels. I know you respected Bo, so but what you're saying is that's why I love the fact that you're part of the team now. I definitely I gotta ship you your BU and your expect to win hoodies
Yes,
for
sir.
you and your wife
Sir.
as well. So we're gonna hook up the whole family.
I appreciate
So
that. We're gonna wear it with pride. We are gonna wear it with pride.
you got you got it. You got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Coach Kelly.
Before I get off, hold on just a
Yes,
second. Before I get off, I wanted to make sure you brought up. Remember, I sent out the information for Bo last week. I wanted you to let the people know his very first response that he got from a college coach was what?
it was about his GPA.
GPA.
His GPA needed to be higher. And he's a talented kid. The football part he has down, but even at a 3.0 GPA, they wanted it to be higher. So all of you student athletes that's watching, you guys, please don't get lost in the system or even feel that your dream is not going to come true. You just got to put in the work. There is no substitute for putting in the work. You got to get those grades up. You got to get that GPA up. I've been sharing with everybody what you said last week, Coach, about making the video and having songs with all of the cursing and vulgar language and all of that, how the coaches won't even watch it. You guys are learning something here on the Expect to Win experience that you may not be getting even from your coaches. Because if depending on the level of the coach that you have, they may not even be aware of some of these things. So You got to get those GPAs up. 3.5 and higher. Maybe just shoot for 4.0. Just
There you go.
shoot for the stars and make sure, don't let your grades be the reason you can't go to the next level. So many young people that
Investing
have
in yourself and putting in the work and putting in the work
yes,
in your athletics is you're also investing in yourself with the GPA and your grades also the exact same thing.
yes, yes. You're not only investing in yourself in the weight room and on the field, you're investing in yourself when you get that when you're in the books. you know get that GPA up, purpose, get it, get it in your mind and in your heart that you're going to do the fundamentals. You're going to make sure that my grades, or if I don't make it, it won't be because of bad grades. Right. So, Coach, great show tonight. Thank you for jewels of pearls of wisdom, and look forward to hearing what you have for us on next week.
I'm ready. I'm ready to meet Kandi. What's going on here?
Kandi, Kandi, Kandi is working hard. When Kandi have about 5 jobs, so she'll be back next week. she'll be here next week, but she's hosting an event in Huntsville tonight, and she'll be back next week. All right, everybody. Coach Kelly, our college recruitment our ETW college recruitment specialist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This has been another show, dynamic show, and I am just thrilled by the having each and every one of you as a viewer. And once again, you can support us by going to www.expecttowinaa.com and picking up some merchandise. And then you can also follow us on Facebook at the Expect to Win Experience Show, on Twitter at Expect to Win Athletic A, and Expect to Win Athletic A also on Instagram. So everyone, check us out, Expect to Win, and every Saturday night, live from Los Angeles, we are here, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Why don't you leave a comment? Oh, and also please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe our page. Like, share, and subscribe. I am Coach Thomas. For my co-host, Kandi Knight, my special guest co-host, James Bo Thomas III, and our college recruitment specialist, Coach James Kelly. Everybody, God bless you. Have a good night, and be with us next Saturday as we introduce to you another dynamic student athlete here on the Expect to Win experience, coming to you live from Los Angeles. God bless everyone, and fight on.